My name is Carl Canwell, and I make films for a living. This last month, my assignment has been to create a film about 11 people from the Loma community between the ages of 63 and 89 who are known for their healthy lifestyle. I wanted to know what they do and why they do it, so that maybe we could learn from them. Because let's face it, we all need some motivation from time to time. So if your goal is to live a long, healthy life, consider this your motivation.
My name is Bob Peterson. I am 63.
69 years old.
69 in 7 months.
And I'm 73.
74 years old.
Going to celebrate my 75th birthday this year.
I'm 82.
I'm 84.
And I'll be 85 in April.
I will be 88 in July.
In a couple of weeks, I'll be 89 years old.
The best estimates are that 50% of longevity is genetics. Most of us don't have much choice in that. So it's what do you do with the other 50%, which is lifestyle? There are lots of things you can do that we know about, and it's pretty much general knowledge.
As far as diet, I've always done my own cooking here.
I'm strictly into vegetables, fruit, some nuts, small amounts of meat.
Mostly vegetables and grains and
Fish too, and vegetables.
You don't always eat the perfect diet, you know.
I have to admit that my vice is popcorn. I love popcorn.
I have a goal of growing about 80% of what I eat, and right now I'm close to 50%. I'm not there yet, but by the end of the summer I should be at about 50%. It just tastes better. I think it's better for you. I know what was put on the plant. I have 18 different fruit trees. I have citrus. I have 3 different types of peaches, 3 different types of avocados, pluots, pomegranates, figs, cherries, bananas, putting in papayas and mangoes this summer.
I've never been in a place where I can grow citrus. So when we came out here, one of the first things I did was to start buying fruit trees. So I'm kind of proud of the trees I got out there working.
Then I have vegetables. For this winter, of course, I have peas, onions, lettuce, beets, carrots, broccoli. I'll have the usual summer crops. 5 or 6 different kinds of tomatoes, 3 or 4 different types of squash, cucumbers, melons, cantaloupe.
I love to garden. I love to get out and plant things, prune things, transfer things.
Oh, and potatoes. I've started growing potatoes.
Gardening is my big stress reliever.
Be real picky about who you pick to be your mate, because actually if she can, in my case, if she is your friend, then you got a friend for life, you know. I mean, and that really puts a lot of oil on a lot of rough waters, in my opinion.
I actually have a few things that make me feel relaxed. Praying is one of them. When I'm alone and I go out for my run or walk, I almost constantly am saying some prayers.
I'm a firm believer in power naps. Pretty much every day, it lasts 10 to 12 minutes. I will have a nap after lunch. I am much more likely to be able to come up with a creative solution to a problem that a research project has run into early in the afternoon following a nap.
I think to be socially active, it's very important. You look for something that you enjoy. I enjoy going to aerobics. I enjoy going over there, the social networking over there.
We do a lot with family because we have a big family, so we do a lot with family.
about 7 years ago, I had been asked to be on what is called a senior committee at the Drayson Center. And just to meet, once a month we meet, and then we do all kinds of events like that. You know, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Harvest around October. So we're constantly being involved with each other. And, you know, outside of just being home here, it would be pretty boring.
You've got to keep your brain growing. If you do not keep using your brain, all the specialists say this, it's going to hurt because your brain and your body work together. Right now I'm in the middle of a course on the Dead Sea Scrolls. The next one will be a course in meteorology. And then the next course I'm going to take is the history of Christian theology. And the one after that is how to enjoy classical music. It's something that just stimulates this gray matter here, and it keeps me alert, and I really enjoy it.
One thing that I do while I'm exercising on the treadmill, and this is one reason I like the treadmill, I can take the time to use it for memorizing scripture.
You know, I have a little bit of a difficulty talking about what you call us. Retirees is a word that's got a lot of baggage. Elderly, no good. The senior citizens isn't bad. It implies that these are the older people that are kind of dumb and kind of cute and with walking around with a cane and stuff like that. You get the Drayson Center crowd and you got people you don't want to mess with.
We usually walk a couple of miles, 2 or 3 days, mornings a week.
Take anywhere from 3 to 4 classes a week. There's a 9 o'clock called a total body workout.
I think right now I would say I'm running 3 to 4 times a week.
I do 2 sets of 10 movements on each of these 10 machines. And then I head for the locker room and get into a swimming suit and then in to do my laps. I come home and tell my wife that I feel 5 years younger. And the first time I said that, she said, well, why don't you go twice a day?
So I have been going to aerobics classes since I've been about 23 years old. And the days I don't go to the Drayson Center, I go out in my neighborhood and I jog part of the time and I walk part of the time. I'm gone about an hour. I cover about 3-4 miles.
I've been running seriously for over 35 years, and I've been swimming. I used to do some competitive swimming, but I've been swimming just to stay in shape for the last 15, 20 years. You know, some ocean swims. I swam from Alcatraz to San Francisco. I've been running the Honolulu Marathon since 1978, and my goal is to run 50 years in a row, and I'm at 34 years in a row now. So 16 more to go. It'll take me to age 79. Hopefully if the joints hold up, I'm good.
Why do I play tennis? I don't like running. I find running terribly boring. I'd much rather chase a yellow ball than just get out there and run. It's something that I have done at least once a week ever since I was in my 20s.
I think the problem of exercise is where a lot of our people that get older really fall down. It disturbs me muchly. I get newsletters for seniors from Harvard, from UCLA, from Cleveland, and it always is the same theme: exercise, exercise, exercise.
Certainly as you age, as each decade goes by, you become more aware of your mortality, and I think everybody has a spiritual side, and how they address that and what they do depends on the individual. But I have a great interest in spiritual things. I have a great interest in the hereafter.
And they've done all kinds of studies of how religion affects a person's longevity, relations with others.
My favorite thing to do on the weekend is to go up into the hills behind Loma Linda and hike or run. I find in particular in that place, doing those things, a very spiritual place.
Spiritual sport is just a part of my life, and it's just in my day all day. What, decisions I make, the prayers that I say. I go to Mass every Sunday. I go down once a week down to church, usually on Thursday mornings, and help clean the church. I think it's comforting. It's kind of like a rock, it's always there.
That's where I pull my strength. There's been times that we've had very tragic things happen in our family, and that's the first thing I do is start praying. So that, I think, is the basis of everything.
And I don't know how people function without that, Kind of keeps you
on an even keel,
Yeah.
When you think about that.
Our lifestyle, what we eat, what we drink, and everything that we do has a definite reflection upon the God who made us.
When people ask me, how do you live so long? I tell them, when they ask me that question, I say, rule number 1, pick very carefully your parents.
Well, his father died of a heart attack when he was in his 50s.
Diabetes runs high in my family, on my mother's side and my father's side.
My mother passed away at 80 with a massive heart attack. My older brother died at 69. He was 69 of a massive heart attack.
With my older brother dying of a heart attack at age 56.
My mother passed away in her 60s with heart disease. I had a brother who passed away in his 60s from a heart attack. I figure I don't have the very best genes in the world, so I've got to just do the best with what I've got. And eating right and exercising is probably about the most I can do for myself.
And sadly, I go to class reunions and I see people that are in horrible, horrible condition. They always say to me, oh, you're just lucky you were born genetically healthy. And I said, no, it's about getting up at 5 in the morning for the last 40 years and doing something.
I think before you retire, you have to make up your mind that you're going to be active. If you want to take a few months and just unwind and stay home and do nothing, that's fine. But after that, that kind of gets old.
Retirement shouldn't be just sitting in the house and, you know, just trying to make up for the sleep maybe you lost years ago, or not having a stressful day. You got to create a new life. You retired in the sense of that job, but you didn't retire from life.
Hopefully, they don't wait until they're ready to retire to do something about their health. But as I always say, it's never too late. It's never too late. And just understand that there's nothing more important than their health. They need to take every opportunity they can to do something for their health.
You don't have to go out running for 4 miles right away. When I started running, I could not run a block. I thought, oh man, I can't do this. But you know, you have to experience how good it feels.
One is you've got to do something that you like to do. Not everybody likes running. Not everybody likes swimming. They don't like that, maybe biking or some physical activity, but because you have to really like it to sustain it and do it over the course of the decades. And then find other people who like to do that, and you form a little community. And sometimes it's not always easy. Even after 40 years of doing this, sometimes it's like, oh, do I really want to go out and do this? But what I find is once I'm into it, and after I finish, I think, wow, I'm glad I didn't miss that.
You have to take care of you. Nobody's going to do it for you. I can't do it for you. If I could, I probably would be trying, but I can't. So you and only you can take care of that one body that you've got. And that is the best thing you can do for yourself.